Hi, I'm Scotty Ogden, and today we're going to talk about cash flow. What is cash flow? Who's funding your project? Is it you or is it the owner? These are some of the things I learned really early on in my business, and I learned the hard way. There was a time where a handshake meant everything. You would say, I'm going to do the job. They would shake your hand. You knew they were going to pay you. Those days are over. Now we need to know whose cash is funding this project. Today, we're going to touch on 3 points in managing cash flow: how to increase and manage your cash flow, why you should manage your cash flow in your construction company, and if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you 3 really important skills how to improve cash flow in your company. Have you ever had a client refuse to pay you at the end of the project? This has happened to me 3 or 4 times, and it's very frustrating. And if you're just getting into business, this will happen to you eventually if you don't grasp this concept right at the beginning. There was a job where I waited until I needed money, and the invoices got to about $130,000 before I decided to invoice the client. And when I invoiced the client says, I can't pay you. I just filed for bankruptcy. And this was devastating for me. What am I going to do? I've paid my trades all this money. All my profits are down the drain. So I proceeded to try to take this person to court, but obviously you can't take someone to court that's filed for bankruptcy. Long story short, I ended up making about 50% of my money back, which was kind of a saving grace. But here are some really good reasons why you need to manage your cash flow effectively in your company. Number one benefit would be it's a buffer in market downturns. It helps you float along for the next job. Another one would be expansion. If you want to expand your company, this would be a great time to do this. Having positive cash flow also aids in the negotiation. You don't seem desperate. You have the money, so you don't have to be desperate enough to take on jobs that aren't going to be profitable. So it helps in the negotiations. And finally, if you go to the bank and you need some financial help from the bank is going to look at your financials. And if you got a positive cash flow or good cash flow in your company, it shows that you have a healthy financial stability in your company, and they're going to be more prone to give you a loan or help you along in the next stage. Here are the 3 skills you need in order to increase your cash flow. The first one is frequent invoicing and upfront payments. When I was in construction, I was more focused on the operational side of things, and I never realized that by the time I actually needed the money, which was usually around tax time or when my employee benefits were due, that I didn't have the money. And in order to get the money, I had to invoice my clients. A lot of times the clients were away on holidays, so the money wasn't flowing in. And then I was late paying my taxes, and then I had to pay interest on that, etc., etc. So what we did is we decided to start invoicing 2 to 4 times a month. This really helps in disputes. If the owner disputes something, it's easier to dispute on a week-to-week basis rather than disputing after 3-4 months. Then instead of disputing thousands and thousands of dollars, you're literally just disputing a few $100 or $1,000. It's a lot easier. And then we get this upfront retainer. So if we want to do a project, instead of doing all this work for free, us contractors, we go out there, we bid these jobs for free. We say, oh, free estimates, and we give these free estimates, but that is our valuable time. So we ask for an upfront retainer. If you want to retain our skills and services, you have to pay us. So this is the retainer. So we have a retainer agreement. We will tell the owners we need a deposit, a construction deposit, before we start the job. This is now the owner's money. When we have invoices coming in, we're using the owner's money that's in our account to pay for those trades. This is how we increase our cash flow. We will not pay our trades for the next invoicing until our owner has paid the invoices. We hold on to that construction deposit until the very end. The last 1 or 2 invoices is when we start to deduct the deposit. So the deposit doesn't come off the invoice, it comes off the final invoice. Now, we hold on to the deposit right till the very end. We don't give this deposit back in the first check. Some of our clients will call after the first invoice and they say, well, can't you just take it off the deposit? No, that deposit is to sit in my account until we're completed the job. This is to ensure that I get paid and all the trades get paid, and we're using the owner's money to pay. Because what would happen is we get to the end of the job and then the owner refuses to pay the final invoice. And now all that profit, all that cash flow comes out of my pocket. We don't want that. Skill number 2 is pay the trades with the customer's money. There's a lot of trades out there that when they're done the last piece of stone or the last tile or the last roof shingle, they want to be paid immediately. I mean, who wouldn't? When I was a tradesman, that's how I wanted to be paid. But if you pay the trade and then you bill the client, you're actually paying the trade with your own money. Even though we've got that deposit in there, what we want to do is we want to collect those invoices at the end of the month and the middle of the month from our trades. And then we want to give the trades 10 days. We're going to pay the trades 10 or 11 days later. So we invoice the client as soon as it is the first or the middle of the month. Then the client pays us that invoice and then we pay the trades. This gives us positive cash flow in our business. And this is a real important skill because we have that deposit for that buffer, but we're literally using the customer's money coming in to pay for those trades. So the second point is make sure you're paying the trades with the customer's money. Skill number 3 is financial management for maintaining cash flow. When you get paid from your owner, take the money and put it in 5 separate accounts in your bank account. One for the WorkSafe, one for your taxes, one for employee benefits, one for employee holidays, and one for employee payroll. This way, you've got the money when you need to submit those payments. And the reason you do this, well, it's not really your money to begin with. So pull that money out and put it in these separate accounts. There's nothing worse than not being able to pay your employees or not being able to pay your taxes. The money needs to be there. So this is skill number 3, is financial management for maintaining your positive cash flow in your company. Thank you for watching today. And if you enjoyed what you're watching, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Please check out our blog. The link will be in the bio.